So I was able to actually live with the Aboriginal people and learn a lot about their culture and what they do, even learn some of their language. And for the most part of that, we slept in a tent out in the outback. So it's just kind of give a demographic or range of where this is. I served in Alice Springs, and then outside of Alice Springs are all these bush communities where the Aboriginal people live. So it's kind of like 5 hours from the middle of nowhere in the very middle of Australia. And it's super hot, and if you think of Australia, you've never been there before, it's exactly what it looks like there. Like red dirt everywhere, really flat in a lot of places, and you see a lot of kangaroos and dingoes almost every day. You see them there. But I got to live in a tent and do what they do and basically live like them. It was a really amazing experience that I really enjoyed out there, getting to know those people and seeing a completely different side of Australia than most people know about. I mean, out in the bush communities, there's kind of a joke about all the dogs that live out there. Like a lot of other smaller third world countries, even though Australia is not third world, once you get out into the bush, it's a whole different, almost like a different country, a different place. But there's dogs that run rampant everywhere. I remember one time, they don't eat the dogs there, but I remember one time, one of the ladies in the community, her dog had died. So she asked us if we would go bury it. And then I remember on our way to bury it, I accidentally hit another dog and killed that one as well. So I actually ended up burying 2 dogs that day. But then that night, one of the other dogs gave birth to 7 puppies. So I mean, we didn't lose any. It was still a net positive of puppies in the community. So it was always interesting with the dogs and how many there were, and they just run rampant kind of everywhere. I remember one time I got a package from my family, and they live here in America, and they had sent me some American food. So I had Cheez-Its, so it's just a cheesy cracker kind of thing that they sent to me. And me and my friend, we were walking down a path outside trying to talk to people. But on the side of the hill up above us, we saw a kangaroo up there. So, and I had these Cheez-Its in my bag, so I wanted to see if I could feed the kangaroo, if it would come down and eat the Cheez-Its. And so I threw some up the hill at it, and amazingly, the kangaroo did come down, but it didn't eat the Cheez-Its. But then all these people came up and asked what we were doing, and we ended up making like 10 different friends because they saw us trying to feed the kangaroos and wondered what we were doing. So it was pretty funny. So in that same area, it doesn't rain very often. Out of the first year that I was there, I probably only saw it rain 3 times. And it's kind of funny because in that same area, they have a river. It's called the Todd River. But it actually only has water in it once every like 5 years. It doesn't flow very often. So they've kind of made a joke out of it in that community in Alice Springs. Every year they have a river race. But everyone makes these fake boats that they stand up in, and then they run in the dry riverbed out in the sand. And actually, as missionaries, we were allowed to compete in it, and we actually took first and second place 2 years in a row. So it's pretty impressive.